As a bereaved mama of 10 plus years, I get asked this question a lot. What do I say to a mom that just lost her child? What's something comforting that I can tell her? Like, I don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't want to say the wrong thing because there's so many things that are just not okay to say. But we still say them a lot. That's another video. So I thought it would be good to just make a video full of them and have them ready at your disposal and whenever you, I don't hope you ever need them, but if you ever need them. So I would actually categorize, I guess you could say, comforting things to say when there's a newly bereaved mom, when they've just lost their child. Like things you can say at a funeral or at church, grocery store, whatever, and it's new. Like it's within like that first year that they've lost their child. And then there's things like when you get to 10 plus years after they've gone, these don't necessarily work the same as what these will. So I'm gonna give you something that can be good to say at, say, like a funeral right after the child loss. You know, you're at the funeral and you go up to the parents that have lost a child. Now, the thing that the majority of us say is, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry. And you know what? Everybody says that. I know you're sorry. I know that you didn't want this for me, but it is not your fault. It's nobody's fault. So what can you say along with that? That'll be comforting. I'm so sorry. If you ever need somebody to talk at, I'm a really, really good listener. And I'd like to be that for you if you would allow me. Now the ball is in their court. They'll reach out if they want that. If they don't reach out, don't assume that they actually want that. No offense, but they might not be comfortable with you. But when you're that family member, you're that friend that is a really good listener and they know that, they will call you. So say the funeral has passed and you're thinking about them a lot and you're like, I wish I could just do something. I wish I could do something. The days following up to that funeral, the weeks, the months, we have so many different emotions and sometimes we just don't want to see anybody. We just want to be alone. We just want to be alone in our thoughts and our feelings, and it's hard to show up the way that you want to. If you're calling that mama and she's not picking up the phone, chances are she's like in her anger stage and she just wants to be alone, away from people, especially after being bombarded with people at a funeral. I'm just gonna say it. I escaped after my daughter's funeral because I did not want to be around people. I didn't want to see anybody. Not even the people that I love most, my family. I just wanted to be alone to process. And when that's the case, you know what you can do? You can do things for them without asking. I know. You can, sure, you could do like the basic, like make a casserole or something and bring it over to their doorstep and just text them and say, hey, left a casserole on your porch, whatever. You could do that. But to be honest with you, not everybody wants your casserole, okay? But if it's like springtime, you could go over to their house and weed their garden. You could even plant some flowers. If you really know the person and they know that they like flowers and you know that they'll take care of them, plant some flowers. But if not, just weeding is enough. Or mowing the lawn without asking. Just start mowing the lawn. They'll see you, they'll give you a wave. They'll send you a text saying thank you. Because the last thing that we want to do when we're stuck in this grief is we don't want to go outside where neighbors are, and we don't want to do the things that we're supposed to do as adults. We don't want to take care of anybody or anything else. We need a break. We need time. If it's wintertime, take your shovel over, shovel their sidewalk, shovel their driveway. Make a snowman in front of their window or something. I don't know, just do something that they didn't ask you for. Just do something that they don't expect. Because everybody needs their lawn mowed and their weeds weeded. Now, if it's been several years, if it's been 3, 5, 10, 15 years since they lost their child, and you run into them at the grocery store or at church, and you go up to them and you say, hey, I think about you so much. How are you really? And don't just ask, how are you? Because we're just gonna say good or okay or hanging in there, right? We don't actually mean those things because chances are you'll be able to see it in our face. You'll see it in our expressions. And majority of the time, people just really want to be asked genuinely how they really are. You can open the space for that when you say, how are you really? Like, I want to know. Another thing that you can mention to them is that you are thinking of their child. Something like, I was thinking about Gracie the other day. I was walking around this huge garden and there were the most beautiful pink flowers, like crazy pink. Insert something that you know represents their child. If you don't know, do some research on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. They're probably talking about their child somewhere. Trust me, there are always reminders. Like a butterfly or a dragonfly or Mickey Mouse. Or if their thing was roller skating. Say, hey, we went roller skating the other day and I thought so much about them. Another thing, you can ask questions. How old would she be this year? Oh my gosh, it's been that long. Can you picture her running around chasing these kiddos around? How much fun they would be having. I wish she was here. I wish she was here. Just say it. Another one, I think about you and Gracie, insert name, a lot. And maybe you have a conversation about life and work and, I don't know, buying a new house. If you said something like, Gracie would be so proud of her mama. As a bereaved mother, I can tell you that it is hard to move forward. And when we are accomplishing things and sometimes just raising other children or getting a new job, that's a lot. That's a lot when you're grieving. And to hear that you think my daughter would be proud of me, we live for our children, living and dead. We do everything for them. So hearing that you think my daughter is proud of me, that makes me feel so comforted. And when I feel like I'm failing and I hear that, I know that I'm not. I'm doing a good job. I'm doing all that I can. So do you hear a pattern here? Say their name. That's it, just say their name. We wanna hear it every day. Now the last thing that I thought of that is probably the most comforting when it comes to both categories, both situations, new and I guess old, is sometimes it's best to just not say any words. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is just hug them. Yeah, without saying anything else, just walking up to them and just hugging them and holding it tight. Like a nice tight hug. Like, let them breathe. Or if you're wearing really strong perfume, maybe not the hug today, but hug them hard. The first like 3 to 5 seconds are gonna be a little bit uncomfortable for both of you. But if you hang on to that tight hug, that discomfort is going to go away. Feelings might come up, they might cry. It's nothing new to us. We cry all the time. There's nothing wrong with crying. And you know what their reaction might be? Is to hug you tighter too. Because we really need that hug. Grief is so isolating. And to have that embrace from someone who cares, it means a lot. It says everything. And a lot of times the reaction that you'll get is, hey, thank you. I didn't know I needed the hug like that. Thank you. And that will be like the bright part of their day. It helps more than you know. So from my personal experience, these are the things that I would suggest saying. These are things that were comforting to me, and these are things that I've done for other bereaved moms and dads. Things they need too. Because really deep down, we all really just need to know that we're thought of and we're cared about and we're important and our child was important. And they had a place on this earth and they still have a place in your heart. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for caring about somebody else so much that you would watch this. Hug. Coming for a hug? Okay. Okay.